Hey, what's up, Daily Dosers? My name's Austin, and I'm one of the high school pastors on the Vista campus. And today in Luke chapter 2, in this very popularized Christmas story, there's 3 verses near the end that tell the story of Anna. And she's always been a hero of mine because of her patience and her willingness to wait for 84 years. And in Luke chapter 2, verse 36, it introduces Anna. It says, there was also a prophet, Anna, the daughter of Penuel of the tribe of Asher. She was very old. She had lived with her husband 7 years after her marriage, and after those 7 years, she was widowed until she was 84. Or this could also be read that she was widowed for 84 years. So she's either waiting about 60-something years or 84 years, day in and day out, she's coming to the temple. And what I love about this story is it's coming right on the heels of a guy named Zechariah. And Zechariah will learn that he's going to be dad to John the Baptist, but he walks into the presence of God as a priest. And at this point, it's kind of ritual. He's done it many times before. And when the angel shows up and tells him that he's going to have a son, he laughs at the angel and he walks into the presence of God unexpectant that God is actually going to show up. He walks into God's presence, not really believing that God's going to be present. And it's such a stark contrast a chapter later to 3-verse Anna. For 84 years, she's shown up to the temple going, I'm expecting God to be present. I'm expecting God to be present. And if you're anything like me, man, even in the last couple of months, clicking on the link to a sermon or gathering on Zoom for a life group or having a conversation about some other content that I've watched or picked up, it's sometimes discouraging to walk into God's presence through YouTube or a Zoom link and through community and opening up God's word virtually. I'm unexpectant of God to show up sometimes, and I'm discouraged. And I read a verse like this in this unsung hero of Anna going, 84 years I showed up, day in and day out. And for 80-something years or 60-something years, whichever one it is, it's still incredible to me. She walked into the temple and the Messiah didn't show up. And she went to bed that night going, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. And for 6 decades or 8 decades, she walked into God's presence expectant that he would show up. And this story is encouraging to me, and it's convicting to me, and it's challenging. I want to be more like Anna and have the patience that she had that said, God, I will operate on your timing. I'm not expecting you to show up on my timing because you are God and I am not. And you always have been and you always will be. And she read in God's word that there was a promised Messiah coming, and she believed him. And I wonder sometimes if I believe in God enough that he's going to accomplish his will, his works, his deeds. And what he asks of me is my obedience. And I love this story of Anna, and I love the story of Simeon right above it. Maybe that's another daily dose, but these 2 people, these 2 faithful followers of God that just said, I believe God enough that he will accomplish his will. My role is obedience. My role is showing up, being expectant that he will fulfill his promises. And I'm encouraged by this, and I'm challenged by it today to go, when I open up God's word, when I click on a sermon link, when I open up a virtual Zoom link, and when I walk into quiet time with God, am I expectant of him to show up, or am I kind of just walking through the motions? And especially in a season like this, I need this story of Anna to go, I want to be more like her. I want to be expectant of God, and I want to walk in obedience going, he's a God that fulfills his promises always. Maybe I get to see it. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's 60 years from now, but I want to be faithful enough to go, God, you're going to show up. My role is obedience. Thanks, Daily Dosers. We'll see you tomorrow.